Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Super-Fanta-Fi. This being a show where I talk about shows of the supernatural, fantasy, and/or science fictional genre. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of 12 Monkeys. So basically, this episode had an interesting opening. Was that the opening? I don't remember now. Essentially, we ended up finding out that Lady Olivia, we've seen like kind of how they communicate with the witness. Basically, that whole like, drinking the tea leaves things that Jones did last episode, you know, the red leaves that are created from the paradoxes. And basically, that's how they communicate with them. They go to the cabin, the one that's constantly being rebuilt and destroyed, you know, that's kind of representing, you know, time being chaotic, where like life and death are kind of happening all at the same time. Life, rebirth, death, blah, 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 blah. So essentially, he leaves messages to them there. It's like, I don't understand how does he exist only in that space? Or how does he, like, I don't really still 100% understand how he communicates with them there, but essentially he was leaving their message being like, because Olivia's like, we need to take care of Dr. Rayleigh. He's like, no, Cassandra's important. It's like, why the hell is she so important? She's actually more of a threat to you. But he was like, you know what, still, nevertheless, basically bring her onto our side, and Olivia's like, fine, okay. And basically it was kind of taking its toll on her, because when she woke up she was bleeding, and basically the tall man's kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, things kind of aren't going the way you expected to, because it's like, it's very interesting, because I never really thought about it. The fact is, they already had like this whole plan like all out, because it's like the witness kind of sees all and knows all. He knows all the cycles kind of back and forth. But the fact is, things aren't going the way they were supposed to. Time isn't going the way it was supposed to. Things are changing. Like, for example, the whole Ramsey situation. Ramsey is supposed to be dead, but he survived. His cycle was supposed to end, but Cole going back to save him changed everything. It was the beginning of multiple changes, so. And so there was that angle. So basically they're going in blind. Everyone's cycle is unknown. There's no telling how everyone's situation is going to end. Basically, we end up jumping to 2044, where we have Cole sitting down with Jennifer, and I did like the interaction, just like, so you don't write, you don't call, and she kind of snorts a little bit. It's like, it's so adorable, because she has such a huge crush on Cole, and basically he's like, we need to get you back to the facility, and she's like, oh, already asking me to move in and everything. And she's got the touch, she's got the power. Sorry, I just had to do that really quickly, just because I just loved it. Loved it in the previews, and I still loved it in the episode. But essentially, the plan is to go back to 2016 and get younger Jennifer, because basically, older Jennifer's like, I'm not as in the head as I should be, so my powers aren't, I can't really hear the voices like I used to, just part of getting older, because she's going to help them track down other primaries and kind of fix this whole situation. Which there's you end up finding out later on in the episode, because Jennifer in 2016 ends up seeing the word of the witness, and basically we're seeing all these different names. We see Cassie's name, we see Ramsey's, we see and we see Jennifer's, and we see Cole. But for Jennifer, it says, oh, she dies, like, what was it, September 23rd, 2044. So maybe that's another reason why she didn't want, Cole trying to look after her in the future, because she was essentially kind of going like, well, it's kind of too late for me, I'm going to die. And basically, time isn't a straight line. There's a lot of hectic stuff going on. Time isn't just a straight line, as we kind of perceive it as. And essentially, there's plenty of twists and turns, and maybe she, time's kind of like, what's meant to happen is going to happen. So she probably already knows her death is coming. Well, obviously she already knows her death is coming, because she found out in 2016 that she's going to die in 2044. So she already knows it's coming. So maybe that's another reason why she's kind of wanting Cole kind of off distracted with 2016 her, so they won't have to be there to worry about. Because she did say like, oh, with my daughters around, they won't get to me. But she knows already that they will in some shape or form. But basically, you think like Cole is like, okay, I have to be the one to go, and Jennifer's like, nope, because of she's already experienced it. She knows the one that goes is Cassie, and everyone's kind of, and Cassie's like, wait, me? Why me? It's like, that's just how it is. And then Cole's just trying to defend it, be like, okay, I know Jennifer's a little crazy, but she's not that bad. And Cassie's like, she's worse. And then Ramsey's kind of like, yo, she's crazy, dude. And essentially, basically, Cassie kind of has to put her feelings for Jennifer aside and go back and get her. And Cole's like, no, just, if anything happens, she's like, I'll leave a message so you can get here in you'll read it here in 2044 and come and help me out. He's like, okay. And it's like, and then Ramsey walks over. He's like, "Oh, look at you two. You're on the same page now." It's kind of like, "Oh, you're kind of all made up and everything." And Cole's like, "I feel you breathing on my neck." He's like, "You like it, huh? Huh?" So it's like, shut up, Ramsey. But kind of poking at the fact is that they are like that, and at the same time, it's a very not really heavily focused Deacon episode, but we got a little bit more found out a little bit more about Deacon. For example, finding out that basically, he ended up killing one of his men because basically he sent 5 of his men out. Only one came back. Deacon was very suspicious of the situation. He was like, "Yeah, all right, you sold me out, didn't you?" Because basically, someone known as the foreman, and the foreman is one of obviously many people that are coming after Deacon, and Deacon just irritated by it. He's like the rest of those other guys, they were my bet. Like they were much stronger, faster than you. And the fact is, they got taken out. Yet you just happen to be the one to come back. Obviously, you sold us out. Ended up killing him. And Ramsey's like, "What the hell is your problem, dude?" He's like, Deacon's kind of like, "It's been a long while since you've been in the 7, so you probably forgot I forgot. No, not how things used to be. This is how we handle things like that." So. It's so interesting because like even Cassie was kind of like, "So did you have to do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it had to be done." It's just like that relationship, like it always trips me up because it's like she'll excuse a lot of the stuff Deacon does because she spent so much time with him, she got to know him, so she knows what he's doing is for the the betterment of the facility. Like whatever he does is fine as long as it means protecting essentially time and everyone. And obviously this doesn't sit well with Cole and Ramsey. And since I'm talking about that situation, I love the fact is both of them are there telling her goodbyes, like, be careful. I forgot what Cole said, and then like Deacon is like, be careful. And then he's like, and then Cole looks at comes like splinter safely or something like that. Each one trying to get the last word in. And then finally Jones had to be like, "Gentlemen, could you please just step back?" And it's just like, and then they're spending the entire time arguing while she's splintering. I'm surprised Cassie didn't say nothing to them. It's just like, because they're so against the way Deacon is. It's like, because he brings this up to Jones too. It's like, how can you trust someone the way Deacon is? Like, let's not forget he brought the messengers here in the first place because he was so dead set about taking over his facility, but you trust him so much now. And it seems like Jones is kind of like, being the way Deacon is, it's kind of fine. We're going to need that if we want to protect this facility. But Cole and Ramsey aren't for that. So basically they tricked him into leaving and they ended up selling him out to the foreman. And honestly, he wasn't mad. He was like, honestly, it was a good play. He's like, if I was in your situation, I would have done the same thing. They left him there, came back and told Jones, and Jones was upset about it. Fucking Deacon walks in bloody and beaten up. Essentially, he had killed the foreman, and we ended up finding a very interesting thing that basically because basically the foreman kept trophies, and one of the knives he had on him belonged to Deacon's brother, and so they definitely had a long history. But essentially, he was kind of like, it's okay, like he's like, essentially, he was kind of proud of them almost because he was like. I feel like I don't know whether that's Deacon or is that just because of his time with Cassie that he's become like that. But it's just like he was just kind of like, he's like, no, that's kind of the way to go because it's like finally I was able to drill it into your head to be like, kind of making them into the people they needed to be back when they were with the 7. Because they weren't always willing to do whatever needed to be done for whatever situation. And it's like this time they were actually doing it. They sold him out because they felt like it was the best thing to do for the facility. So he doesn't blame them. So they're kind of square. He's like, here, take these weapons because it's like it kind of fits good with that look you have now. Just like you look much better now. He was basically telling that to Ramsey. And essentially he was telling Cole, it's like, yeah, you still, yeah. When next time you go back to Vast, bring me back some drink so, we can finally have that drink. So it was very interesting. I was surprised at it. I was like I said, but I don't know whether that's something. Is that how Deacon would have really reacted before? Because he had brought it up earlier that he was sad that Cole literally left without doing anything. He's like, I thought at the very least you would have slit my throat or something when you left, but you were too much of a punk and you just left. So maybe there was a part of who he was before that would have done that, or maybe it's just because of Cassie. Like I said, don't know. maybe Cassie influenced him just the way she influenced Cole, because Cole isn't exactly the same person he was. Because literally the entire time that was going down, I was like, yeah, but you're not thinking about how Cassie's going to react to this, because she's taken a liking to Deacon and she cares about him. So she'd be super upset when this is all said and done. But I mean, I guess at the end of it all, it's like, well, I doubt they'll be doing that anytime soon. I kind of, I won't lie to you. I was kind of hoping that basically when they were walking away, they were going to change their mind and turn around and shoot. I mean, basically kill the foreman. But it's like then when we cut to that back to at that particular situation, it's them at the facility talking to Jones. I'm like, oh wow, they left him there, and it's just I was really surprised to see him walk in like that. Which I guess I shouldn't have been, because I kind of knew he wasn't dead, because there was like certain scenes I've seen from the previews that haven't come up so far in the show, and I was like, okay. But essentially, we also get to see Jennifer kind of in her normalcy. Like, we see her kind of taking medics. I thought she was going to get herself locked up in another facility because of the way last episode ended. It was like, no, she's just medicating herself, and she's doing well. She has friends. She's kind of going out, living life. I mean, it's a little couple breaks here and there with reality, but overall, she's happy and everything. And she even goes to that hotel from time to time. And like, what are we doing here? And it's just like, it's so sweet. She keeps going to that hotel hoping that she'll run into Cole. It's like, man, she is crushing hard, dude. She has hardcore feelings for him. And then when she was talking to that guy who was Murray from the Impractical Jokers, it's like, are all of them going to pop up in this show? They must. It must be. It's like, why are they? That can't be a coincidence. It's like, why do they keep popping up? Because literally Q was in the first episode. I don't think I can remember his name at the time, but we got Murray this time. It's like, so I'm expecting to see Sal or Joe at some point in the next couple episodes. I don't, because it seemed like too much of a coincidence for just those two to be in there. So I'm guaranteed we're going to see the other two at some point. Not unless I've already missed one of them, or one or two of them already. It's just like, but I don't think so. It was just such a blatantly obvious, just like, hey, we just threw him in there. It's just like, the moment I saw it, it's like, that's freaking Murray. What? But she was super excited. She's like, oh, he's here. She runs up and sees Cassie. You just see the disappointment. She's like, it's you. Ugh. Sadly for Jennifer, her life wasn't all 100% normal. Essentially, the 12 Monkeys, like one of her friends, like she was like, oh, buddy with one of those new friends in her life, was actually someone sent by the 12 Monkeys to keep an eye on her. It's kind of a shame. She worked so hard to like keep that normal life, and now here's Cassie wanting her to kind of go back to being crazy so they can have access to like her power as a primary, like having all the knowledge that she knows as a primary. And it was a very interesting episode because we got to learn a little bit more about Jennifer, as well as we got to see that relationship develop between her and Cassie, because her and Cassie do not like each other. Mainly, I feel like Jennifer doesn't like Cassie because, I mean, she thinks Cassie's a bitch. That's one. But there's also because she has a connection to Cole and she doesn't like that. Like, that was kind of one reason why she doesn't like her from the beginning. She's like, who are you? Who's this woman with Cole, with my Cole, essentially? And because in certain situations, I'm sure Jennifer views it as Cole essentially choosing her, Cassie, over her. So maybe that's how that is, or maybe I'm just misinterpreting that. Because we ended up finding out that Jennifer, her mom was kind of somewhat like her, not a primary, just sick. And her mom constantly thought that Jennifer was a monster because of all the different things that she would draw. I mean, in Jennifer's mind, she's kind of like, in a way, her mom was right, because basically my mom thought I was going to end up destroying the world. You know, the whole situation with the virus. So she's like, she wasn't that far off from the truth. And so her mom, thinking, all this disgusting stuff she's drawing, her mental illness, a combination of all that, she tried to drown Jennifer. Luckily, she wasn't successful, and basically her dad sent her off, which eventually much later on down the road, her dad sent her off too. So it's kind of like she has not had an easy life. I mean, her mom tried to kill her, and the way she makes it sound like she never saw her mom again because she never got a chance to say goodbye. And the relationship her and her dad had being what it is / was rather. Because her and Cassie actually kind of connect over the fact of mothers, because Cassie talks about the fact is her mom died when she was like 10, and Jennifer's like, was it sudden? She's like, yeah, they both they both were in a situation where they never got a chance to say goodbye to their moms. And basically, Cassie's like, maybe in your case that was a good thing. And Jennifer's like, no, I don't blame her because I was a monster. But Cassie's like, your mom was wrong, and I was wrong about you, because it's like she finally kind of got to see what kind of Cole sees in her, that there is a good person in there. It's just she went through a lot of shit in life, so it was just kind of interesting because you weren't expecting that them to kind of click so well. It's just like they make a good team when they work together. But sadly, Tall Man shows up, and basically Cassie was threatening to shoot Jennifer, but the Tall Man was kind of like, "Yeah, you're not going to do that." But it's like maybe if you asked Cassie at the beginning of the season if she would do it, she probably would have. She would have just to prove a point. She probably would have killed her. But who was it? Deacon? I think, yeah, I would think it was Deacon. Was like, yeah, if you were so worried about that situation, how about we just kill Jennifer? That way, you don't have to worry about the whole like potentially using a primary as a paradox type of situation from happening. But what ended up happening was they ended up getting taken because Cassie couldn't do it. Because, like I said, after the time they spent together now, she kind of actually cares about Jennifer now. So, but ended up trying to essentially get her in contact with the witness. And obviously, I love the thing she says to Olivia, because she's like, "Okay, good, Olivia. Like basically, I want to have a few things to talk to your boss about. The fact is, the virus is gone, and it already killed 8 of the messengers already, and I'm going to kill the rest of them. And I think she's saying, basically, I'm going to kill you too." And Olivia got super pissed and slapped her because Olivia was kind of losing control. She'd always been calm and composed because everything was going to according to plan. But like I said, everything's falling apart now. Nothing's going the way it's supposed to. Some of it went the way it's supposed to, but because there's certain things, everything didn't go the way it's supposed to. Now it's kind of like they don't really have 100% control of the situation. But she comes face to face with the witness, and who do we see? Aaron, her ex. It's like, wait, he's the witness? Which, it comes up, like, which she doesn't actually tell Cole later on in the episode when it comes up. It's like, why? Is it because she's not 100% sure he is Aaron? Is that why she didn't say anything? Because to me, I was like, maybe he projected himself as Aaron, or it's like, but it feels like maybe that makes sense why he wants Cassie so badly. It's because he still loves her. And it's just like, if that's the case, like what happened after he got, maybe we'll get to see that next episode. It's like, what happened last time, the whole thing, a situation for him to be whatever he is, what made him the way he is. Like, he has to have some kind of power. Is the witness in some shape or form a primary himself? It's like, I don't know. Like, to me, for him to have all this access to all this knowledge, maybe he himself has to be a primary or something else. It's like, because Aaron was a normal dude to begin with, so it's like, how would he be in a position to do what he's doing, to know what he knows? I did like the fact is that Jennifer came to Cassie's rescue and ended up stabbing Olivia. Granted, she didn't die. She's just at the bottom of that pool, just like not being able to move. The Tall Man went and ended up talking to the witness and being like, "Okay, let me take over the operations." He's like, "Yeah, it's your birthright." He's like, which there was something I kind of glazed over. The fact is that the Tall Man is still alive, because they were under the impression, because I actually forgot about it, but they were under the impression he was dead because when Cole injected himself with his younger self's blood, creating a paradox, it ended up making an explosion, and he ended up surviving it. And they're like, "How did you survive that paradox?" He's like, "I have it's in my genes." So it's like, are they? I can only assume in some. Well, obviously they are genetically modified. They are special in some regard, the messengers, and so he is the son of a messenger. So something in their genes is really good, I guess. It seemed like he was waiting to take over operations anyway, because he was just like, because Olivia was just failing. Just like he knew Olivia was only one fail away from losing her position, because she was kind of essentially the witness's favorite, essentially, because he's the one she spoke to, as well as that one. She's the one that kind of dished out orders, but now that's up to the Tall Man. So next episode, they'll be heading to 1975 to track down a primary I don't remember his name, but apparently he's not like anyone else. He's very different from the primaries that we've, Jennifer, as well as the other primary, Tom. He's very different from, he was like washing his hand in blood. He's like, I'm about to meet James Cole. So it's like, who, there's no telling what's going to go down next episode. But that's really all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and goodbye.